Hi, my name is Koku with blackfilm.com, and I'm here with Daniella Pineda and Remi Adeleke, stars of the Lionsgate movie Plane, which will be in theaters, guys, on January 13th. Thank you guys so much for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, Remi, I have to start with you because I think you have a very interesting story here. So it seems that you are a former Navy SEAL.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So
ma'am.
when you get into a movie like this and you're getting is it trendy? Are you like, this is child's play? You know, they got shooting little weak guns. Like, what's going on? What's going on?
I'm like, I better not make myself or my former teammates look bad. That's the thing. I better not trip. I better not have my finger on the trigger when I'm not supposed to. I better not be shooting crazy. I better look at it. So that's on my mind.
I know that's right. No, because you show proof on your Instagram. It's like, listen, I'm out here. I'm shooting. Okay, no. But Daniella, I want to ask you about your character, Bonnie. I think that a lot of times, like, we don't think about, like, when flight attendants, they really are here to, like, sort of help us, right? Like, you know, you think, like, it ain't just serving out the cookies and the Diet Cokes and stuff, right?
Yes. I mean, you're not strapped in your seatbelt. If
Right.
you're in your seatbelt, you're probably going to be okay. But it's the flight attendants usually who suffer and are the first to hit their head. And they're the ones risking their lives, even on like a regular flight. You know, not one, let alone that crashes in the jungle.
Right, exactly. I mean, you know, listen, guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. These days, I mean, crashing in the jungle is probably a best case scenario. We've seen some crazy, some crazy stuff in these airports. People acting a fool on the plane. I'm like, what's going on, child? I wanted to ask you guys, like, and being honest, guys, what kind of passengers are you when you get on that flight, whether it's first class or coach? Are you guys, you having a couple drinks? Are you being friendly? Are you middle seat aisle? Daniella, I'll start with you.
I'm so happy that you asked that question. No one has asked that before. Well, two things. One, I've said this before. I'm economy comfort. I'm the high middle lady.
Okay.
So economy comfort, because I care about my wallet. But also, you know what? I go out of my way. Well, now, especially that I've played one, but I go out of my way to be very, very kind to those men and women who are serving us and risking their lives for our comfort. Because also nowadays, as you said, like, people are acting a fool. People are acting ridiculous, and they have to put up with so much, and they have to babysit. And so I just really go out of my way to be as kind to them as possible.
No, that's beautiful. I'm glad you said that. And I agree with you on that. Now, what I will do now, I ain't gonna lie, it's an airline. I'm not gonna shout nobody out because it doesn't matter. But it is an airline I do have points on. So when I get that first class upgrade, then, you know, listen, I might get a little saucy because it comes with, that's the perks that come with it. But when I do my economy comfort, as you will do, then I'll just sit there and I'll just, you know, eat my little crackers and I'll just, you know, recline a little bit. What about you, Remi?
You know, like Danielle said, kindness goes a long way. You never know when, you know, even if the flight attendant's not being bothered or harassed, you never know what they may be going through in their personal life, right? And you could potentially be there to bring that person joy or happiness or a smile, you know. And so, you know, I just got off of a flight because I was out in New York for the premiere, and I was already kind of flight attendant before I got on planes, but after watching the film for the first time, I was like extra kind, saying thank you, and how can I don't worry about it. Like, I'll take my trash. You ain't got to take my trash. So, I'm if I'm in business class, I tend to window, so because I can write and be in my corner. But if I'm in economy, I'm 6'2", so I need the exit rows the aisle.
no, literally, I'm a solid 6 foot, and I have to get aisle. I'm not trying to squeeze past people, and some people just don't even want to exit the plane on time. I'm like, why are you just like sitting here?
Chilling,
no. We gotta get off. We gotta get off. Like, do whatever you gotta do. But like, I understand that. But I mean, Danielle, I'll kick it back to you. I mean, you know, you have this film where like everything is so action packed. I just want to know like what you thought. And it's so funny when I'm seeing people talk about Gerard and they call him Jerry. I didn't know people called him Jerry. So are you guys that familiar with him? Yeah, he's Jerry. Okay, that's cool to know. Yeah, but like, what's it like just being in a film like this where you're working with all these wonderful actors and all your peers here, and like everybody's having like, you know, just really having to stay on point and focused, and it's just action packed every you know step of the way.
I think for me personally, this was such a new experience for a couple of reasons. I think I felt like I was in the kind of movie that I grew up watching. It's such a 90s style action film, much like in the way that, like, you know, Harrison Ford would play these men who were just regular men who would find themselves in these crazy situations. And you as the viewer, like, empathize with their path because, you know, you were them in a sense. And Jerry kind of functions that way, similar. He's the underdog. He's the guy who's not supposed to be on this journey, but he is, and now he's got to save the day. And, you know, we had a French team, Jean-François Richet, our French director. I got to work with French filmmakers, that's a feather in my cap because they're my favorites and they want everything to feel real and gritty. So I don't know, for me, it was so nostalgic because I felt like I took a time machine back to like 1996.
No, I agree with you as far as like how I perceived it, and not and this again, it's not in a bad way, but it's just like it was nostalgic. Yeah, it was like, wow, like we kind of like we haven't had this kind of film in a long time where we're like on the edge of our seats and we're just like rooting for people and you're just kind of like shouting at the screen. So that's a good time. So Remi, I do wonder, like at times, did you kind of want to like chime in, like, well, exactly how that would go in this particular instance? Let's do it this way.
Well, you know, it's funny you bring that up. Jean-François, I had a meeting with him before we started. And he said to me, you know, Danielle kind of touched on it. He was like, I want this film to be so real. I want it to be authentic. I don't want no fake. Please tell me you can do that. So he was so open to, you know, me bringing my background and experiences to the film. Like,
that's great.
If he pitched me an idea and I didn't feel like that was authentic or real, I would be honest with him and tell him. He would be like, all right, let's not do it. Let's do it this way. So that was awesome. That was awesome.
That's wonderful to work with people like that really listen and that really want input. Yeah, that's a great, fabulous environment.
And another reason why I'd add to, because I remember our conversation, he said, Remi, it's not just about the film being real. It's about, I want to also honor guys who have served and what men and women have served and who have done this type of job, so that we're not making them look bad or watering down what they do. So that was another reason why he wanted it to be authentic, because he wanted to kind of try and show as much as he could, you know, what people who serve do and what they deal with and how things are and how, you know, everyday people who are in the military put their lives on the line. So it's really, that was really awesome.
I'm curious, did the both of you go through like the traditional like audition process where you just didn't know if this was going to happen for you? Did someone say, hey, I think this would be good for you? Like, how did they go? I'll start with you, Daniella.
Well, I feel like with being an actor, that is just almost always how it is. It's like, am I going to get this part? Am I not?
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it out of my head. I actually auditioned for Dele, the Yoson character.
Oh, okay.
And then they said, we really liked your performance. We're actually reconfiguring this part. And so I kind of put it out of my mind. And then they came back and offered me the part of Bonnie. So yeah, I didn't think that this was going to happen. And then when it did, my first thought was like, yes, I get to do a movie with Gerard Butler.
Jerry, remember Jerry.
Jerry B.
What about you, Remi?
Yeah, I went through the audition process. My agent came across the script and he was like, hey, I think this would be something that's right up your alley. And gave me the sides. I auditioned right here at this wall to my left. And I want to say a few weeks later, the producers and casting director reached out to my agent and said, hey, we'd love Remi for the role.
So that's interesting because I know, like, I've asked a lot of people about like the whole self-tape thing, right? So you're just saying, even with a big giant film like that's under Lionsgate, we're still even doing self-tapes to this date.
Yeah, because this was still during COVID, I want to say.
Right, of course.
So, you know, nobody was going in for auditions. It was everything was self-tape. I mean, I've done self-tape all last year, you know, so I haven't done in-person audition. I'm not sure if it's been the same for Danielle, but.
What about you, Danielle?
Well, you know what? I was doing self-tapes before the pandemic, and I kind of preferred them, to be totally honest.
I know. I ask people that. People are like, I like it.
I love self-tapes because I can get it right. I can do it how I want to do it.
Yes.
I prefer it. And then when that became the new norm, I was secretly like,
No, look, just like I like this virtual interview. It's like, oh, I don't have to get out of bed. Like I can have on my like newscaster like shorts on and like do the whole upper thing. It just depends on the person. But no, that's really interesting. Some people say they don't like self-tapes. So I just was just curious. I mean, like with a movie of this budget, Yeah. With this budget, this caliber, I still wondered if that would still apply. But I mean, listen, guys, you guys did a great job. I think people, and I guess even now, like we just sort of need people to be like on the edge of their seats, like boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, it's fun to watch, and I think they're going to really enjoy you guys. So I really do. Thank you guys for sitting here with me, and I'm going to go ahead and reintroduce who I'm speaking to. I get to sit here. My name is Koku with blackfilm.com, and I was here with Daniella Pineda and Remi Adeleke. Adeleke, that's African, right?
Got it right. Nigerian. I was born in Nigeria.
Yeah, it's a Niger boy. Okay, I'm East African.
You're Yoruba to be exact.
Like the accents. Yeah, it's like Yoruba. You got to throw it out there. Like, don't say nothing else. So Daniella, it's a thing. I have to, when you talk to a Niger boy, you have to say what they are. So a Niger boy, he is Yoruba, okay?
She knows what the deal is. She knows what the deal is.
But guys, no. And I'm East African. Shout out to Rwanda and Tanzania. Hey, okay. Daniella, what you shout now?
Oakland, California.
Okay. Straight out of Oakland. Yeah. No,
Oakland, California, Mexico, but that's 3 generations back.
Yes. No, girl. Oh no, it's all good because I don't know what my children are going to be if I ever have children, but who knows what they're going to be because they're going to be generations of whoever. Because you never see Tanzanians, you never see people from Rwanda, so who knows what I'm going to end up with. But anyway, let's stay focused, y'all. Again, my name is Koku with blackfilm.com, and I was here with Daniella Pineda and Remi Adeleke. They're stars of the Lionsgate movie Plane. It's going to be in theaters on January 13th, guys. It's a great action-packed movie. You're going to have a lot of fun. It keeps you on the edge of your seat. They do a great job. And guys, be nice. Be nice to your flight attendants. You know, you guys, you can't tip flight attendants, right? I've tried. They won't take it.
Yes.
They won't. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for your time. It was so great to talk to you guys, okay?
Thank you, Koku.
Have fun with all your self-tapes. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
If you want to see more content like this on blackfilm.com, make sure you like, subscribe, and ring that bell.